Weird. Hi there.
And it's not orange or...
No, it's actually a really good color. Outside is gray, but inside of here it's...
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. So we're live, and we're going to start this off by a question we saw.
A very powerful one at that.
How do I know that this is not a dream, that I'm dreaming at night, and not... How do I know it's 5D connection or 5D telepathy? Or a dream.
Or a dream. That's a really very interesting question. And even as I'm sitting here trying to, I'm absorbing what's being asked. And I guess if you really got to pay attention to the difference between one or the other, 5D, maybe I could ask you this, because I'm trying to understand what this is. 5D is their fulfillment.
Okay.
In dreams is their fulfillment.
Okay.
5D doesn't know what fulfillment is, but it feels warm and inviting and fulfilling. Whereas the other, it's almost like you wake up and wonder, am I allowed to have that? Am I allowed to experience that? Do I want this? And then a set of expectations come from dreams, whereas in 5D, there are no expectations because they're being met. See what I did there?
I do see what you did there.
Oh, yes, hi.
I'm pulling this down to the side here. That way I can see what's going on. Because I can do this all day, and then you go that way.
Yeah, up, down. Okay, so I guess is that the right response to that then? So 5D is the space where connection is occurring. Dreams aren't. Dreams are actual.
Sometimes I feel, especially when I'm getting like attacked in my dreams or negative things are happening in my dreams, it is blocking me or keeping me from moving into a direction that I need to be moving to. So, for instance, I'm going to use some dumb analogies here, but for instance, just say the universe wanted me to sell candles. And, it's on your mind and you think of it and you think of it and you lay down at night and you're like, should I do candles? I don't know what I should do. I'm not sure if the universe wants me to sell candles, right? And then in my dream, there's a candle factory explosion or all the candles are melting. I can't get the candles right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I can't find something that I had set right there that would help me in my candle making. And I wake up and I'm pissed off at the candle making. I'm upset. I'm bitter. I'm still carrying that energy with me throughout the day. Therefore, I'm not going to even look into candle making or spiritual work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For instance, it could be anything, twin flame coaching. It could be, I don't know, helping the homeless, whatever. Right. I really feel like sometimes those dream journeys, those attacks you feel in your dreams and nightmares or whatever, really do try to put a monkey wrench in the journey. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And it really kind of points out the really huge block or a huge way that we probably all end up blocking things. An example of this would be that dream, that experience you just shared.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want that to happen in real life. So rejecting that dream, and then you have a dream of something you do want, you almost send a conflicting message to the universe because you have dreams you want and dreams you don't. Whereas in 5D, you have no care about what you want and need are. You just experience what is. So I guess when you have dreams like that, like you've had dreams of me and then you wake up and then all day long there's like this disconnect because of the dream. Does the dream keep you from seeing that 5D's there? versus, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like, wouldn't certain dreams keep you from experiencing what could be real? I don't know. Maybe that's a good question for you guys. So let's see. My other half yelled at me when I was running through his house in our dream. Then he blocked me. He blocked you in real life, or did he block you in the dream? Hola.
I'm really.
If someone can't remember dreams, can mean something.
You know what?
Something
I've done some research on that too, and I clearly, scientifically, scientists do not know why some people can remember dreams and some people don't. Science intrigues me, but also annoys me. I think it's the same thing. I feel it's the same thing. I feel like we're going into a dream state. Things are happening in our dreams, right? It's still a blockage. It's still something that's keeping us from doing what we need to do, where we're supposed to go, what we're supposed to be doing. Because I've got clear dreams of, you need to do this. No, I don't want to. You need to do this. No, I don't want to. And I will keep dreaming it until I do it. Right? However, should I have forgotten about those dreams, and it would have happened anyway, either. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This kind of reminds me of something that was shown earlier on in our connection when we were coming together, and something that was very significant as to why I never had any real memory of dreams, or couldn't remember my dreams, or the blank space that I was in. It's because literally I didn't think anything else existed outside of my mind. So when I would go to sleep, that was my let me escape from my mind and be in my heart space time, versus being in my head and not realizing that back then I was living in my head, and I really didn't get much good sleep. So by the time I was actually getting sleep, it was from exhaustion and passing out. My body needed the rest, a blank space. So now when I experience things, if I'm in my head all day and I go to bed, I can't sleep right away. And then when I do sleep, I'm having really messed up dreams. And then versus a day where I'm in my heart all day and listening all day, when I go into my dreams, I can remember everything completely as though it's real, but I feel like I'm really rested and peaceful in that state. Does that make sense? So is it that if I'm in my head, if you spend a lot of time in your head, you do have a button on the inside of you that says, nope, no time to go there, because you're doing other things to your body and your body's still absorbing some things. So I'm wondering if that's the same for everybody. But I mean, to me, that makes sense, both spiritually and physically. Emotionally and mentally, maybe not so much, because my emotions and my mental capacity, once it reaches a certain point, I know how to just be in the flow rather than being in my head.
Yeah.
So what I was trying to do when I first started experiencing it is I read up on some things, and the only thing that ever seemed to work for me was right before I would go to sleep, I would tell my mind what to do rather than my mind tell me what to do. So like counting the lines of my hands was something I started doing. Telling my mind to do something that I would have to actually tell my mind what to do. So then as I'm falling asleep, telling my mind to remember made a lot of sense. Remember what you're about to see. Remember what you're about to experience. Why are you yawning?
I don't
You need to get
know.
some sleep.
Sleep? Lack of sleep? You know what? This next question is, or next statement is interesting. Where did it go? Where did it go? It was somewhere up here. Oh, here we go. I dream in text. Is my twin messing with my head? I don't think so. No. I feel like a lot of times we get into a lot of routine. Here's what I've done. I've literally called somebody in my sleep. Me and my ex-sister-in-law were very, very close. We were only like 2 years apart in age, and we were best friends at one point in time. And I literally, in my sleep, picked up the phone next to my bed and called her up at like 3:30 in the morning. And she answered the phone like, hey, is everything okay? I'm like, huh? It woke me up. You know what I mean? So I hung up and thinking I'm dreaming. She called me the next morning like, why are you calling people at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? I'm like, that's just the craziest thing, because it's what I do. I pick up the phone and call you, right?
Mhm.
So something must have been happening in my dream, but I don't feel like, no, I don't feel like twins intentionally go in to mess with. I feel like using that connection for anything other than connection is that's just not good. It's just not cool at all.
Right.
Using the connection for manipulation or to make someone uncomfortable is like using a psychic gift to win the lottery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like using a medium gift to tell somebody a loved one that they really don't hear from, right? It's just not genuine, and it's just not ethical, and it's just not cool. I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it happens. I hope not, but I'm sure it happens. But I don't feel so in this case for some reason. I just don't.
I noticed, like in this, I believe the person who said that they were dreaming about going into they said my other half yelled at me when I was running through his house in our dream, then he blocked me. And then came back and said, blocked me from further dream access, and now we're blocked in 3D. So that dream would interpret that being inside of him somehow, some way, she got locked out in connection. So I think going back and kind of understanding what was it about on the inside of him that she feels she can access, is that really that they communicate through? Do they find a space where they could actually open up to one another and actually be okay with sharing with the other? Or is there space where if you go into, the other person's shut down? Mm. So what happens is you're standing at the door of being shut down instead of exploring how you got there. So what parts of the house that you were in the dream, if you were going into the family room, then all of a sudden you're no longer in contact in 3D. There's something that happened to him and the family access right. That is not accessible at this time. Doesn't mean it's something you did. It's just something that's actually there in the family. I would look there.
We're going to get hate now. Sherry's looking at the camera and Lee's looking at Sherry. Sherry's neck hurts.
Let's see. Should I try to access him again in our dreams or just cut him off from for the separation group? Never do the cutoff thing. The cutoff thing is something you learn how to do and then you don't know how to undo it once you learn. I would make sure that you still stay open to communication. And when you're blocked, it's not about you, it's about them. And when you block, it's not about them, it's about you. So I would look at that way. To me, the best moment to transmute energy is when I wake up in the morning, when the energy from the dream is still very active. Every dream I've had, I've known it was 5D. Which I think...
I really want to touch on that, what she said. When you wake up in the morning, when the energy from the dream is still very active, I'm noticing that's happening a lot lately. And I'm attributing it to my thought process before I go to lay down, right? Last night, for instance, I knew that the clothes I wear at the bottom of the dirty clothes basket, and I should have put a load of laundry in. I knew this. I knew it when I went to bed. And my thought process was, I got to get my son's clothes together and do this and do that and make it to where I had something to put on without having to struggle with going in the closet, finding things. I'm not a functionable morning person. And I did that. And I woke up this morning and I had to go look for something to throw on. And what I found was not what I wanted to find. It was just there. And it was fine. And when you're not comfortable in what you're wearing, it just messes up your whole day. It's not what I wanted to do. It's not what I wanted to wear. I'm not comfortable. But I realized when I woke up this morning, I thought, son of a bitch, why didn't I throw the laundry in? I knew I could have thrown it in the dryer this morning, waiting on Cameron to get on to the bus or whatever. But it was my bad, and I went to bed with that energy, and I woke up with that energy, and I wanted to be pissed off at everybody. I wanted to be pissed off at everybody because I didn't have what I needed. And I carried that energy with me, a lot of the morning and in the afternoon, like, fuck, I'm not comfortable. I said the F word. I'm not comfortable. Everybody else is running around here with clothes. My son went to school with clothes on. I'm pissed. And then I realized it was really the energy that I went to bed with and the energy that I woke up with. And it does stay with you. It continues to block. It continues to block. Because if we go to bed thinking, you know what, this is insane. My twin's a complete jackass. I don't want anything to do with them. You're going to go to sleep. You're going to go to bed angry. You're going to have angry dreams. You're going to wake up and you're going to be even more pissed off than you was the day before. It happens. It happens all the time.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe we should just change up the way our thought process when we fall asleep. But I don't know how possible that is. I'm not a dream person. I do dream. I have visions. It's awesome. I had a vision of searching for a pair of socks this morning. That came true.
No.
Struggles. My life struggles. My everyday life struggles. They're just horrible. It's fine. We're trying to figure out where we got.
Yeah, I pushed up. I was just trying to see where we're at.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I made the live. Well, welcome.
Wow.
If you've never found this live, here we are. Let's see.
Thinking you were in a text conversation with him. Done it. Done it.
Got a text from my twin yesterday that he had bad dreams. I refused to enter 5D with him right now. Just crawled out of the nest. So your twin is experiencing your rejection, and then you're telling your twin you're rejecting them and not meeting them in 5D, or are you just letting them have bad dreams and think it's about them? Had heart-to-heart in 5D with twin. I apologize for being numb, distant, and non-responsive. The exact same stuff I judge him as arrogant for in 3D. Asked for pics and ghosts for weeks again. So he's allowed to see you, but not allowed to know you. How do you open up and let your twin in your heart in 3D? Because you had a heart-to-heart in 5D. Do you trust that in 3D?
Oh.
That would be like saying, I trust him in 5D, but I don't trust him in my dreams. It's the same thing, right? I just discovered you through this week, loving you. You're a Lucy and Ricky vibe. Yes, I'm the one that speaks English. She has the accent.
So do you.
I think we're in our heads before we sleep. We have negative dreams because we go to sleep in our hearts and we drift into our childlike wonder state when we are most connected with ourselves and therefore twin. These are some pretty good comments.
Oh, wait, she said the twin has the accent. She doesn't, right? Or he doesn't. Well, I was lost on that.
Oh, no. I was just reading the
okay.
Loving Your Lucy and Ricky vibes.
Oh.
I think that's cute. Total synchronicity to end up here. Hello from Sweden. Hi, Sweden.
Hello, Sweden. We have clients in Sweden.
Yes. I'm confused on what he says versus what he does and what he's telling his parents. I feel like I'm going crazy.
Girl.
Yeah, well.
Actions and words are so completely confusing and different.
Do you know, I think I figured out why that is. If you're an empath, it makes it impossible to understand somebody's actions and words together because you've been interpreting a lot of the actions the majority of your life and had to tell yourself a story. So the story never makes sense with the dialogue that comes out of the person. So you become almost conflicted in that. It would be like if you I asked this question before, does an empath know how to receive love if they're receiving everything else? And it's a very interesting question because I have yet for somebody to really tell me how they found a way to do that. Let's see, hardly remember dreams now, but my TF likes to hit me with energy blast as I'm going to sleep. Oh, those are exciting, aren't they?
Fun.
Yeah.
I used to do that. I used to talk to you right before I went to sleep when we were not living in the same house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I rarely had nightmares. Like I rarely had these night battles, attacks or whatever I call them, because I would focus on speaking with you, telepathically as I was going to sleep. Right. And I feel like we do take advantage of that now you sleep right next to me. I don't have to talk to you telepathically because I can just say, hey, Lee, good night. I love you. but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that
Yeah,
in the form of a song. You got in your feelings. You were Kiki. You literally would get your feelings before you actually went to sleep. So that way I would actually feel you. And I think that's
Kiki.
Yeah, well, you know the song, that Drake, no, the whole dancing.
The whole outside the car dancing thing?
Yeah. You got in your feelings. And once you were in your feelings, you actually were.
You actually listened to the lyrics of that song? I can't wait to hear it now. What the hell?
You judging me?
Is that like this song?
Ain't
here?
nothing worse when the twin judges you, huh?
Is this?
How many
No,
people
I'm not
do
judging you. I'm actually judging the act.
Yeah,
What is it? This song? That song?
the one where the people get outside the car door. You were in your feelings right before you went to sleep. That's how we would connect telepathically.
Got it.
Makes sense.
Kiki. Oh, we're there.
Oh,
She says, Sherry, are we there yet? Oh, we're there.
Kiki, do you love me? See,
there it is.
See, there it is.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go there.
Oh,
but
man.
it kind of really makes sense. You don't really connect to your twin until you get into your feelings.
True.
You get into your head. That's how you separate, or how you abandon, or how you run.
No, that doesn't mean you can't receive love, you silly goose.
I'm sorry. What's that?
I just wanted to say that.
Oh, where'd you see that?
Oh, crap. Does that mean I cannot receive love?
Where would you have learned it? As an empath.
Yeah.
So, Sherry, are we there yet?
Oh, we're there. We've been there.
Oh, thank you for letting us into your journey the first time on a live, but I've watched all your videos. Thank you. Yeah. And sorry at the same time.
Our condolences.
My twin
Congratulations
is distant lately.
time.
So when your twin is distant, does your heart open, or does your twin get close to you when your heart is closed? Do you ever pay attention to that? Does anybody ever pay attention to when your heart's open, your twin may be coming towards you, and as soon as they get close enough, you may close your heart down? Do you ever notice that your thoughts do something to you that make you do that, especially if you have trust issues? Listen, am I there yet with twin? Is he being real? How do you let your twin know you're real to find out if they're being real? So the question really does point to what you let be the reality between you and this connection.
Ah, is he being real? I get it now. Okay.
Okay, you want to lighten it up for me?
No, and there's nothing to lighten up. It's just I can't confirm the answer to that. I don't know. It's been a minute.
My twin is also distant. I'm using the time for some self-love. Do you have self-love without time? Did you see what I did there?
I saw what you did there.
I had this dream where my twin was doing something on stage and I was in front row supporting them. Boom. All these dark ass demons were surrounding me and I ran. My twin chased me and I woke up. So your twin never caught you? And did you stop running? And so the stuff that you can't see in the dark is the stuff that scares you the most when it comes to your twin? That kind of makes sense. Oh crap, does that mean I can't receive love? Yes, you can.
Silly goose, that's what I said.
Yeah, I think it
still
points.
Don't get it. It's fine.
The empath's ability to receive love comes from an empath's understanding of how they translated feelings. So if you can get out of your head long enough to not hear the dialogue that keeps you from feeling, you can use that feeling to experience receiving love. But you've got to be careful of listening to the dialogue in your head, because it wants to trigger something in you to tell you what the other person is feeling or experiencing and label it. And then it does something against you more than for you. So hopefully that helps. Let's see. You guys should go live with followers from time to time. Well, thank you. Well, you want to get that try?
I don't even know what the heck that is.
What, going live? You should go live.
What does it say?
It said you should go live with followers from time to time.
I need to know what that is. Maybe we just don't know.
Well, that's Patreon, right? And that we go live real time. Well, we go live here too, but I think we're live one-on-one.
We do have I'll explain that real quick. We do have a Patreon site, and there's 2 separate tiers. There's a $25 tier and a $75 tier. It's monthly. And we do personal interactions all day, and we do exclusive videos for there. They also get a 24-hour preview access to our videos before they go public. There are videos that they see that you don't. And we answer their questions personally, all kinds of personal stuff. I don't know if that's what you mean. I don't know what live with followers means, but I want to know. And speaking of followers, can I throw this out there because this kid's going to choke me. He's 10. So here it is. My son is 10, and he started a YouTube channel a while back, right? So now he's kind of in competition with his cousins, right? On who has more followers. Cool, it's fine. Just go. He's 10. Look, I've seen the videos. It's fine. We support him every step of the way. We make sure he's not doing anything inappropriate. He talks about Nerf guns and hockey.
It's really I think it's amazing because it's really helping him.
Yes.
He first wasn't very social, but
This
has
really brought him out
because he sees us do it.
Of some shyness. Yeah. And I really think he keeps saying he wants to be a coach.
Yeah.
And he wants to do what we do, but his name is Nerf Cam, NERFKAM, Nerf Cam. Just go subscribe for shits and giggles. I would appreciate it. And this kid will come down these steps just for one or two more.
You should see his Nerf gun wall. Yeah, if you have a huge Nerf gun, you should go check him out. He's interesting.
Yeah, Nerf Cam. Just get that done now, because he will watch this video and he will say to me, "You didn't plug my channel, Mom. You didn't plug my channel." He says it all the time. When are you going to plug my channel? I watched your video. You didn't plug my channel. He's 10. I plugged his channel. Hi, Cam.
Oh, no, we got a question that said, please answer. So I'm going back to track down what you want us to answer.
Okay.
It's been 7 months since I quit my job. He was my boss. I haven't seen him since. I feel him. I even see him when I'm looking in the mirror. Is that normal?
Oh, man.
Are you asking if that's, and you looking for an answer for that? Just put yes.
I'm going to say that I have looked in the mirror and seen a bald black man. It's happened.
Wow. Yes, there's the yes.
It has happened. I have looked in the mirror and I have seen his image, and it freaked me the hell out. But I was doing this. Yeah.
So
it really, really, really happened. It freaked me out.
So here's your answer to your question. They're actually visiting you to see how you look at yourself in the mirror to understand why they are with you or not. And if you can let them in, see you in the mirror, can they see how you treat yourself? That literally is why they sometimes show up in that reflection kind of experience where you actually see them like, I know I just saw them. They get to see how you see you, and they get to hear the dialogue you have when you're looking in the mirror. And if you're saying things in the mirror that you probably don't say in front of anybody, it's almost like you've been exposed. So do they get to choose you in that space above any other space? Are they allowed to see how you treat you, how you connect to you, how you experience you? Does that make sense? Hopefully that gave you an answer, because you put, please answer. I was like, oh.
We are 19,000 total views away from 1 million views, which means nothing nothing to YouTube at all. Absolutely nothing.
We love YouTube.
We do.
We love the fact that we can talk to you guys through YouTube.
Yes.
I wish it was more.
I want to check out that followers thing. I'm gonna reread that.
Go live with followers on Instagram.
We do.
Facebook.
We do in Facebook. We go live in our group, Twin Flame Work Group on Facebook. We go live. We was live in there today.
Have we ever tried it on Instagram?
Was we in there today?
And Facebook?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday we stopped in there in our group.
Yeah, they threw tomatoes. It was fine.
Actually, it was a really good
Twin
discussion.
Flame. It was. It was.
Yeah.
Twin Flame Work Group by Relationship Reinvented on Facebook. They were throwing tomatoes, but it was fine.
Yeah.
They're friends.
Oh, I hate watching videos on Instagram. Ooh, okay.
Oh. Don't think we've ever done a video on Instagram.
Well, thank you. And yes, I hear his voice and I need to practice better self-talk when I look in the mirror then. Well, you want to pay attention to how you got to not talk better in the mirror first. You got to unlearn what you learned first in order for them to understand why you're doing it. Because you can't understand how they see you, but they can see you in the space where you don't want to connect to yourself. That's what this connection's good for that, isn't it?
Let's we're going to stay on for about another 10 minutes. Let's throw some fun, personal, if you'd like, questions up. Just some fun, lighthearted.
Well, we have a question for you guys.
Personal questions, like, and it could be anything. It could be anything. We don't.
Can I do fun thing? Can I do something fun? Okay. We're in Ohio in the United States. We would like to see who is the furthest person away from Ohio. List where you are, and you'll win a prize.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
If you're from Ohio, North England, okay,
Yeah.
that's so far. That's the furthest from us.
And we got 10 minutes to get this done. So it's 4:41 here in the States. So
Nottingham, UK. Okay.
Ooh.
That's still.
I knew you were in Nottingham.
Yeah.
I didn't remember. I'm going to check and see who's the furthest.
Okay.
And in the meantime, too, hey,
you'll win a prize.
You want a
Atlanta, Georgia, Lebanon. Oh, ooh.
Did she say Lebanon?
Mm-hmm.
Ohio or Lebanon, the country?
Lebanon, the country. Saudi Arabia. It's 12:41 a.m.
Oh my God!
Wow. Okay.
Sarasota, love coming there.
Aussie. Oh, well, that's a college. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Angela. She's
Vegas,
clearly the winner at this
Sarasota.
point.
Yeah. It's the next day where she's at, and it's the next day.
I can get to your town in less than an hour. Where are you?
Oh, wow.
Less than an hour. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Vegas.
Orlando,
the country.
Country, yes.
Love coming there.
Wow. Lebanon
Nigeria
is the country.
is kind of far, but not as far as Australia.
Nigeria is pretty far. Let's see. Okay. Oh, New York City. We love New York.
Coming up there. Except, let me tell you, y'all just are busy.
Man, you guys can experience connection all over the world. Right now, you're seeing everybody who has a connection, and you can see them all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't realize how close-knit we are until you start seeing them list all the different places they are.
Oh, I know who that is. I know who you are.
Sydney, but
I know who you are. No. The answer to the question earlier is no. No. You are not there. We are not there yet. No. I know who you are now.
Gig Harbor, Washington. Toyota, Toronto, Canada.
Which, by the way, we were just close to when we was in Buffalo a while back. But they wouldn't let me cross the border.
Toronto's actually 5 hours away.
Maybe not having a passport would help.
Hi.
Yeah, you're not too far. I loved going to New York.
All right.
I knew who that was.
It looks like the furthest ones are anybody who's past midnight this time as you're watching us.
Girl, I scare myself. You don't have
shoot us an email if you are in tomorrow.
If you are in
watching
tomorrow,
this real time, send us an email. We're looking for it right now as we're on, and you're going to get a prize.
Yeah.
Also, for those of you,
what do you got? Like little bells and hand clappers in a box somewhere, like jacks.
Well, actually,
dice and stuff.
No, a free session with Lee and Sherry to help them with their connection.
Oh, that's a good prize.
So
you're not doing anything wrong. It's the situation isn't right yet. Our email address is info@relationshipreinvented.com. info@relationshipreinvented.com. I'm going to do something that Lee's going to kill me. He won't do it on camera because that leaves evidence. No worry.
There's no truth to that.
Right. So we vowed to not do any more root camps or take any more personal root camp clients on the first of the year.
We're training a lot of people to do that.
We're training people, who are going to do that. We will just, how about for the next 48 hours, we will run the 5 for 5 mini root camp special.
Okay.
5 for 5.
Just as long as somebody's willing to do the work.
Sounds like Wendy's 4 for 4.
Don't do this unless you want to do the work. Yeah. This work is to show you your connection to yourself. If you're not ready to do that yet, because seeing that helps you see your connection to the person you're connected to. If you're not ready to do that, that's okay. You can keep watching our channel.
Where in Ohio are you? We're in Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah, so let's get that in. But it's only good for 48 hours from the time this video ends. Yes.
Post. Because once we wrap this up, it's gonna. Yeah. So that should be. We definitely want to do that.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, what questions do you guys have? Oh, you like my expressions? Aren't they interesting? I've really never paid attention to my expressions.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're interesting.
Should we do something for people who are behind right now? 3 hours behind?
I don't know.
If you're 3 hours behind us, I guess we could.
She said, yes, they are. Yeah. They're interesting. Let me tell you.
My face?
Oh, there are, and I'm an empath. So I
hello.
I will, I'll feel everybody's energy, but I can walk into now. You got to keep in mind, this is rough to comprehend and understand.
I need my own sitcom.
Lee and I are together 24 hours a day, like a lot. Lee and I wake up, we get dressed, we come to work at the same time, at the same place. We sit right next to each other. When we get off of work, we go to the other room here and we are together. And it's a lot. Relationship couldn't handle that. Union does. However, there are times when I walk into the room and he can be out looking at rims for a car or something and looking at the computer and going, and I will automatically take his facial expression and turn it into, oh, he's in a bad mood today. I ain't messing with him today. I'll get on him first. Yeah, it's his facial expressions, man. I don't know. He does need his own sitcom, let me tell you. Sherry, how did you deal with feeling what Lee was doing with other people? Same way he dealt with the fact that I was doing the same thing with other people later on.
You go through a rage, then you go through the pain, and then you embrace the pain, and then you end up realizing that holding on or being angry and that kind of stuff, the stuff that's infected in you, not the other person. Mm-hmm. So you have to release it so it goes in the other person. Yeah, we learned how to send that back.
In the beginning, I'm the type of person that is just happy with the information, and it doesn't have to be complicated information. I'm a very simple person. Lee is not. Lee's a very complex person. I just want a quick, hey, I'm going to walk across the street and hang out with the neighbor for a half an hour. Yay. Right. But if I don't see him for a half an hour or he's gone, I'm like, where did Lee disappear to? Where did he freaking go? He's escaping from somewhere. Right. Yes. 365 days. Yes. 365 days. But, in the beginning there, it wasn't so much as if he would have said to me, hey, I'm meeting up with this chick tonight. I'll get with you tomorrow. Okay, cool. There's no lie there. We weren't together. We were working on trying to be together. And he would say to me and a mutual friend of ours, oh, you guys, I'm so tired. I think okay. It wasn't so dramatic, but I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. I got a long day tomorrow. That was the bullshit. that we would get, right? And I knew it. And it wasn't the fact that he was going to sleep with somebody else. It was the fact that he lied about it, right? That was the cover up was what triggered me and pissed me off. I was married anyway, living with in separate rooms and just trying to make it happen, trying to make a divorce happen, right? And we were trying to talk, right? So that's why he felt the need to lie about it. But the fact that if he would have just come to me, and if he would come to me tomorrow and say, I'm going to have an affair, I'm in love with somebody else, mucho respecto, right? Thank you for telling me the truth. We'll work out the details of how we're going to end this, right? Because I'm not going to participate in that. But whoa, right? But to go off and it just seems to be more bad. If that is even, can't put those two words together, but badder, baddest, or whatever, worst or worst. It just is not good. So I'm just more of a truth type of person.
This kind of leads into what she's talking about. Actually, Lee, what was the first thing you did when you realized you loved you? Told the truth. And then cried.
And that's kind of how I knew.
It's the purge, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't, it's easy. You see, they're easily lying to you because they're hurtfully lying to themselves. Mm-hmm. It's not like they mean to do it. It's just you're not even seeing that the lie that they do to you, there's a much darker, sinister thing actually occurring in them. So you kind of see that you think this is about to hurt you, but what they're doing is sharing their hurt with you. So don't take it and judge it or have offense to it. Know that something deeper is at play here. This isn't about lying to you or keeping things from you. They're doing that to themselves. That's what this connection does, right? It's kind of like this question. This is, please answer my question. I once had sex with my twin flame and he was horny for 3 hours after we finished. He couldn't stop it. He had to stay away from me, otherwise he would get horny. Is this part of the twin flame connection? Yes, it is. The other part of that is he would feel that way and be that way because your heart was open to him and you both were in that energy. And to be in that energy for a long time feels amazing. And when you're not in it,
we wonder why we came out of it. Why did we come out of that energy? Because rejection is something we still have as an individual before we're even in union. So we're still working through that and sharing that with one another, or sometimes we're still trying to figure out where that's coming from. And we think it's each other, but literally there's still a space on the inside where you still experience rejection. He's not rejecting you. He's rejecting himself and how he feels. He wants to know more, but he probably never learned to communicate that or be that way with you. So you're going to have to kind of open him up to see that. It's the connection as you really open up and share with each other, the sexual connection becomes like really strong. I mean, we've had some knockdown dragouts where the energy, sexual energy afterwards was just woo-hoo-hoo. It was amazing. But, it's like, kind of where you vibrate off your chair kind of thing. But know that, yes, that is part of the connection. It's a great part of it because that part of it, you actually do communicate in a deeper way. And you can probably do that later on. You got to scroll down.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Right there. I'm sorry.
All right. This here?
Yeah.
TF friendship. This is where I'm at with my connection, but I'm enjoying it. How did you both deal with friendship in your connection when you were communicating, but not in physical union? I think that's where we first started to learn that we could communicate better, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The friend zone. We need to do a video on the friend zone. It's a neat place.
Twin flames in the friend zone.
It's
like the phantom.
Why do I have that
the phantom zone of this
head?
Connection.
The way you said that, it sounded like insane in the membrane. Didn't it?
No, you did
twin
not.
Flame.
Just say it that way. You said that just like they did.
Twin flame in the friend zone.
I'm sorry.
which, by the way, is the exact same thing.
But do you remember in 1978 when Superman came out and they stuck them people in that mirror? And they
Oh,
were
yeah.
That's what
You know,
happens
like the
to
Phantom
twins.
Zone on Smallville.
The same thing.
Phantom
That's
Zone,
called
yeah.
the Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
So the twin flame friend zone
That's
is
what
the
that
Phantom
is. Yeah,
Zone
that's
of
what
this
that is.
connection.
That's what that
And
is.
literally, you don't know where you're
We're all locked
banished
in this
to.
box somewhere.
You know you've been banished somewhere, but you don't even like where you're headed, and you don't even know where that's going to end up.
This is the funny part. Last time when we were in the friend zone and we went out for lunch.
Lunch.
Here we are.
Haven't been apart since.
We haven't. I mean,
we just went out for lunch.
We just went out for lunch.
Innocent.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny to me that every time we would try the friend zone thing, under my breath, I'd be like, okay, that sounds good for a day or two. I'm going to let him have that for a couple days. No. I'm going to tell this story, and I'm telling you what, you guys are going to feel my frustration because it was something else. When we were in, not even our last separation, a couple separations ago at least, right? So it was the one, if you've watched our journey, when we left the house in Miami Township, you ended up in the basement at your brother's house. My ex-husband also lived there in his room. And on occasion, I was allowed to sleep on the couch. Well, then we began to just talk, and he put me in the friend zone, right? Then he invited me. There's 2 beds downstairs. There was 2 beds downstairs to sleep downstairs on the other bed for a week, ladies and gentlemen, a week, a whole week. I slept on the other bed and he slept on his bed for a whole week. It was annoying and it was rude and whatever. But I was not letting it go that far. So I got up in the middle of the night one night and just ended up over there. And he was like, how'd you end up over here? I don't know, went back to sleep. And that's how that worked out. That was hilarious. That's hilarious.
Been there, done that, Sherry. See that?
Yeah.
See how that worked?
Yeah, it was the greatest. Pull this down. It's a. Whoa, that's a lot.
Oh, wow. You guys are some talkative people today. That's wonderful. Let's see. So true about self-love. That's how you don't take on their lives. Boy, this. Oh, do I have to have a laptop for root camp?
Absolutely not.
No, you don't. You as long as you have a phone that
Use
we can, because we would, it is interactive.
Mm-hmm.
We have to see you. You have to see us. It can be on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
We've done them in person.
PC.
I guess
not a laptop, but desktop or even a phone.
If Sherry and I did a retreat someplace, would you guys come so we could actually, really do some work?
Man, we've had some great retreats here. Oh my God, they were intense.
I wonder if anybody would want to do that.
Just think about that.
What would the retreat be called? Oh,
well, I think
how to get out of the Phantom Zone.
I definitely think we do a twin flame retreat. Let's whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out. Okay. We answered.
I hope we answered her question.
No, that was the one on the sex part about the conflict connection. All right. I can't stand the lying. Let's see. Oh my God. Yes, it is the lying. Me too. I haven't ever wanted to hump so much in my life. We get that. I'm starting to feel indifference to the person I thought was my twin. Kind of over it. We have not spoken in almost 2 years. That has a root someplace. Let's see. Someone. The lies. Yes, I don't like the lies. I always know the truth.
And you do. You know the truth.
He knows that I know.
He wasn't going to bed. I knew that. Oh, he was going to bed. He wasn't going to sleep.
I was giving half truths, which is a lie. Half truth. There is no such thing. But I used to convince myself that, I'm not really keeping anything from you. But I also knew that I was keeping something from you. Mm-hmm. And this connection, or in your life, if you ever learn how to keep something from someone, do you consider that a lie? Do you consider those kinds of things, especially if it was people you love and you learn how to keep things from them? How's that not any different than what happens in this connection in a deeper way? Mic drop. Oh, well, thank you. Did either of families reject the other? Well, boy, how much time do you have? Because we could get into families and rejection. We could be sitting here for a whole other couple hours easily. And we would probably just be talking about the very beginning. We wouldn't even get to a middle or an end. After a life death scare, twins' decision want to stay in current circumstance and live it, but admits desire is still there, asking me to transform love into friendship. A good time for agreed separation? Okay. Let me help clarify something about when you get into the friend zone. When you get into the friend zone, it's because they don't want a relationship. And this is supposed to open your eyes to something else, not rejection. Let us give you an example. Sherry and I, when we were like, we knew we were kind of friends. We knew there was connection, and we knew we needed a friendship in our connection. But what we started to realize is that the connection didn't have any limits and boundaries and ways about anything. It was just connected. But when we started talking friends, we ended up putting rules in relationship, which is what they're trying. You're trying to break free of those things in connection. And it's really hard to communicate if you both can't communicate from that space. So you try to find a way there. So you try not to create things that makes the other person hold back. You're trying to find ways to get them to open up. Most people on this planet call that friendship. So when you're asked in this connection, when somebody's I want a friendship, they're saying, I want to communicate better. So why are you hearing rules of friendship instead of hearing, I want us to communicate more openly and be open with one another? Why do we translate friendship and make it a bad thing in this connection is still yet to be seen. It's something that's happened to you in friendships that you think this is a bad thing, where I think it's a beautiful thing. Because without us ever putting that friendship thing in place, we would have never found ways to communicate in different ways and be open about it.
Sometimes we still do that. If we're in conflict, I will say, okay, I don't want you to answer me as my husband. I want you to answer me as my friend. What would you say to me as a friend? I do that a lot. I wanted to answer this one. Did any of your families reject the other one? I don't know where that question went. There's so many. And the answer, did either of your families reject the other? Yes. Still do sometimes. You know what? I speak a lot of truth, and so it gets me, it doesn't get me in trouble. It gets me in a space where a lot of people won't talk to me. Because I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm going to speak the truth. And there are times when, you know, I can speak to a family member of yours that wants to talk and wants to have, but if it goes too far, and I speak truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. It really does. And sometimes it's shocking. And I'm never intentionally set out to hurt anybody, but I would rather speak the truth and have it out. Right? Do you think this is the right decision? I think, no, I don't. I don't think it's a right decision at all. And here's going to be the consequences of that decision. Right? And then they make the decision, the consequences come, and then they want help. Right? Well, okay. We are also an interracial couple, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning there was, I don't know. I think it maybe in the beginning there was a certain member of my family was like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Sometimes she still says some things under her breath that she doesn't understand. And it's okay. But as far as accepting him, I believe everybody accepts you and loves you. Now, yes. But in the beginning, it was a little bit of a rough ride. There's members of his family, and he has a very small family that I love and I adore. And we talk as best friends, right? We do. We text back and forth all day. And then, you know, another one is not as receptive to the truth, where the other one is. Yeah. His one sibling is just receptive to the truth, and that's what he wants to hear. Don't sugarcoat shit. Just what's the bottom line here, right? where the other one's like, yeah, I'm going to go this way. And if it doesn't work, you'll help me out. But it's unfortunate, but it's true.
But it's also very, very powerful what those families can do, what happened in those families impact in your connection. Because that's a very powerful thing that really, when we knew we needed to do this, we knew that is a very significant part of it. Because a lot of things can happen there that you expect to happen in this connection, and you kind of recreate it just to go through it, but then validate why it happened in both spaces against yourself. So I know that didn't make much sense, because I sometimes say things that don't make sense until it lands in you the right way. But, sometimes I just plant things for a reason. We love you guys. I know you guys have a ton more things here, but we've got to get to a session. We are already 5 minutes late. Right now, for 48 hours, when this ends,
48 hours, we have no sense.
You can come and do root camp. I think there's a few people already in here who've gone through it that let you know that it is very powerful. I believe we even have somebody in here whose twin came back to them because of what they experienced
went through in root camp
and was able to help them in a healing kind of way, that all of a sudden doors are opening and the healing is actually being blended into both now, which is very powerful. I believe we've seen that quite a bit, but not as much as you guys probably have been able to see from what we've shown you in our journey. But know that we do know a pathway. It's not the easy one, but it's all about you. We love you guys. Thank you for taking the time today.
On the 48 hours.
You have to send an email. You have to send an email, Pearly and Sherry, and then we'll go from there, because our system is not set up for that.
Yeah.
Then this one here decides to throw a rocket in everybody's plans, but we'll see how
I'm
that
just
works.
trying to help everybody. Okay, Nerf Cam.
Nerf Cam.
Go
Nerf
subscribe
Cam,
to that. Info@relationshipreinvented.com. Our website's relationshipreinvented.com.
And don't forget our Patreon site.
Where I was going. Don't forget our Patreon site.
If you go to relationshipreinvented.com and about, you'll see you can find them here. You can click the here button and it takes you to our Patreon site. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.